Hello everyone, welcome back to the book station. You are watching me, Sanjana, travel on the metro in Nama Bengaluru to attend the Lock the Box book fair conducted by Bookchore. If you watched my previous video, you would know that I decided not to go to the event because it was very far. But once I ordered a box of books online, I was so smitten that I contemplated going but decided against it. But the universe had better plans, and I was blessed with a voucher by Radio City Kannada, and I got to go to the event, and I won one full box of books for free. So here is me at the book fair filming these amazing bookworms picking up books, these racks, and so many racks of books hugging you from all over. I was just in awe of how many books there were, even on the last day of the book fair. And yeah, I had lots of fun and was also a bit overwhelmed. But there was this one rack of classic books that I kept coming back to. But finally, I ended up selecting 13 books which fit in this beautiful small green box, which actually costs around 1200 rupees. Not all of the books here were on my list to buy, but I'm glad I bought all of them. Now let's get started. The first book is my favorite. It is The Remains of the Day by Kazuo Ishiguro, and it is the Everyman's Library copy. And this is absolutely stunning with this red hardbound cover, cloth-bound cover, and gold lettering. I was so lucky to come across this book because it's in absolutely great condition and it's so expensive online, but I got it at the fair for less than 150 rupees. So I'm truly very happy. The next book that I got is Ian McEwan's Saturday. This book was not my first choice, but towards the end, I had space in my box and very limited space, to be honest, and I had to fill it with the book. And I thought, what better book than a Ian McEwan's book? So I got this one. Then I went ahead and picked this book called The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. It's been on my TBR for some time now. That's John Steinbeck and his other books. And I love the lettering of this book, and though it's been used and the spine's a bit broken, it's in great condition. There are no unnecessary markings on it, and the cover is also beautiful, so I had to put it in my box. The next book that I got is Punnachi by Perumal Murugan, which is one of my all-time favorite books. And look at that cute tale of Punnachis. I love the story of Punnachi. I've read it. I read it on my Kindle and never had a copy. And now Punnachi is out of print because the publishers are out of print now. So I was so glad I found this hardbound copy, and it's absolutely in great condition except for the dust jacket. And yeah, I love this book so much. So I'm very happy I found it. The next book is also by Perumal Murugan. It is A Lonely Harvest. And like I said, towards the end, I had to fill a bit of space, and this was the one book that I could get my hands on, and it was in pristine condition, so I took it up. The next one is The Garden Party by Catherine Mansfield, and this is also in brand new condition. There were several books of the same type, and this was the best one. Since I love reading short stories, especially when I am in a reading slump, and this was a great book by Penguin Publishers, I picked it up. Then the next book that I got is Wilkie Collins' Moonstone with this beautiful cover. This is a very floppy copy. That's Wilkie Collins. And I've had this book on my TBR for 2 years now. Look how floppy that is. And I was in love with how old this book looks, and also so warming. Lights up my heart every time I look at it. The next one is Memoirs of a Geisha. This book has been on my TBR for a long time, and at the book fair I found several copies of this book, and all of them were a bit used, but I know that this book is going to be just a one-time read and I might not go back to it again, so I didn't mind getting a copy that was a bit used. The next book that I got is Elizabeth Gaskell's Mary Barton. I know nothing about this book, and I'm not a person who picks up books that I have no information about. But this time I kept going back to this classic rack, and my eyes kept going to this book, which had several copies, and I loved the cover. It was striking, hence I picked it up. The next book is The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame, and I got to know about this very recently through a YouTuber called Caroline Murray on her channel. And this book was fascinating because this is one of those rare classics with a colorful cover, and it's a children's book, so I wanted to pick it up. The next book I have here is The Mystery at Lilac Inn, which is a part of the Nancy Drew series. If you watched my previous video, you'll know that I love the Nancy Drew series, and in the previous box I did get 2 books because I love the illustrations, and it was one of the first books that I fell in love with and which made me a reader that I am today. And since I found this book in such great condition, I did not think twice to pick it up. And as you can see, I love the illustrations and the book altogether. The next book I have is also one of the books that has been on my TBR because I've watched the movie and got to know that it's based on a book. It is The Help. And I know that this is probably a book that I might want to go back to. So I made sure that I picked up a good copy. And the next and the last book that I have is The Hound of the Baskervilles by Arthur Conan Doyle. And this is a brand new book that's not even been unwrapped, so I thought I will save it and unwrap it before you guys. As you can see, the struggle with plastic is real, so I was a bit upset when I saw that this was plastic wrapped, and I hope it wasn't. But yeah, I do love that it's in great condition and it's a new book, and since I don't own any of Arthur Conan Doyle's books, I was glad to find this beautiful penguin copy. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and experiencing a bit of this beautiful city. See you in the next.